Hey guys. All right, welcome to Unit 1, Lesson 3. This is solving equations. So we're going to do the one-step and two-step today, and then on Monday we'll move on to multi-step. So I'm going to go through the first 2 pages of notes right now, and then I want you to make sure you have your notes filled in, and then today, Thursday, and tomorrow, Friday, you can make sure your notes are filled in, get that caught up, and then work on the first 2 pages of the tic-tac-toe assignment that's posted. Just the first 2 pages, okay? I have those instructions listed on there. And then on Monday, we'll do multi-step notes and move on to the rest of the activity, okay? So to solve an equation, we're going to use inverse operations. On your slide, you should be able to type that word in there, inverse. So inverse, when you think of inverse operations, I want you to think opposite or undo. Opposite or undo. So inverse operations undo each other. So for addition, the opposite action is subtraction. You might have to write subtraction onto your slide. It might be easier to type these words. For subtraction, the inverse operation is addition. For multiplication, the inverse operation is division. This one you are going to have to write out because it's hard to put a division symbol into Google Slides. And for division, the inverse operation is multiplication. So this little dot is the same thing as an X. Those both mean multiplication, okay? Now we're in algebra, so we're going to use this dot to show multiplication from now on because the X is going to be a variable, okay? All right, so one-step equations. For number 1, we have x plus 9 equals 3. My steps are, I'm going to draw my line. You should have steps to solve equations over here on your page, I think. So right now, what am I doing to x? Well, I'm adding 9 to it. So I'm adding 9. To undo addition, I need to subtract. And I'm adding 9, so I need to subtract 9. So I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. And 9 minus 9 is 0. So that would give me x plus 0 equals 3. But I don't need to write plus 0. So I'm just going to do x equals 3. And I'm done. Number 2, negative 4z equals 48. Well, here, when I have a number, a coefficient, and a variable, so a number right next to a variable, and I don't see an addition sign or a subtraction sign or anything between them, this is multiplication. Okay, so this is multiplication. So to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide. So I need to divide both sides by the thing I'm multiplying by, which is negative 4. I'll draw my line here. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. So that leaves me with 1z equal to 48 divided by negative 4 is a positive divided by negative is a negative. 48 divided by 4 is 12. But in algebra, when I have a 1 in front of a variable, I don't have to write this. We understand there's a 1 there. So I'm just going to write z equals negative 12. And then we have number 3. Number 3 is 5/6 m equals 10. So again, I have a number next to a variable. There's not an addition sign or subtraction sign in between them. So this is multiplication. To undo multiplication, I can divide. So I can divide both sides by 5/6. And 5/6 divided by 5/6, anything divided by itself is 1. So I have m equals. Then you can, on your calculator, on your Chromebook, if you have school-issued Chromebook, you should be able to search the actual device for a TI calculator. So if you type in TI when you're looking at the apps, it should pull up a calculator. It's got like a black calculator on it. You can use that calculator. So I would pin that to your docking station. You're going to want to use that. So you can type in 10 divided by... Sorry about that. Okay, so in your calculator, you can type in 10 divided by, open parentheses, and then type in 5. The fraction line is the same thing as division, so divided by 6, and then close your parentheses. So when you type this in, you should end up getting 12. So m equals 12. So when we are multiplying by a fraction, we can just divide by that fraction. It's just a number, so we can divide by that fraction and solve. So use our calculator to solve. I want you guys to do 1, 2, and 3 and submit it, email it to me. So do 1, 2, and 3 and email it to me. Or send it to me via Canvas, through Canvas or by email. Okay, now we have two-step equations. So if you're not comfortable moving on to two-step, work those 1, 2, and 3. You can send those to me. When I respond to you and say, yes, looks great, then you can move on to this if that's what you're more comfortable with, okay? So number 1, we have 4y minus 4 equals 16. So I want to look at my variable. What am I doing to my variable? Well, the first thing I'm doing here is I'm multiplying it by 4. Then the next thing is I'm subtracting 4 from it. So to undo subtraction, I need to add 4. To undo multiplication, I need to divide by 4. Okay, so division undoes multiplication, addition undoes subtraction. So these are the things that I'm doing to y, and these are the things I need to undo to get y by itself. And I'm going to do them backwards. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom and go up. So I'm going to change to a different color so it's a little bit easier to see. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 4. I'm going to add 4 to both sides of the equation. So negative 4 plus 4 is 0, and I'm left with 4y equals 16 plus 4 is 20. And so I've done this step. The next thing I need to do is divide by 4 because that undoes multiplication. So I have y equals 20 divided by 4 is 5. Okay, so I'm looking at my variable. I'm figuring out what am I doing to my variable. So when I see my variable right here, the first thing that's happening to it is it's being multiplied by 4. Then the second thing is we're subtracting 4 from that. I'm going to do the inverse operation. So the inverse operation of subtraction is addition. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. And I'm going to do these steps backwards. So let's look at number 2. We have negative 1 equals z divided by 3 minus 7. So I'm looking at my variable. The first thing I'm doing to z is dividing it by 3. So right here. All right, sorry again. Here we go. Keep getting interrupted today. All right, so the first thing we're doing to z is dividing it by 3. And then let me switch back to my pen. We're subtracting 7 from that. So the inverse operation of subtraction is addition. The inverse operation of division is multiplication. And I'm going to do these things from the bottom up. So the first thing I want to do is add 7 to both sides of the equation. So negative 7 plus 7 is 0, and I just have z divided by 3 over here. Negative 1 plus 7 is 6. So I've done this step. Next thing I need to do is multiply by 3. So when I multiply by something I'm dividing by, that's the same thing as saying 3 divided by 3. Those make 1, and I'm left with z, because I don't have to write my 1 in front of my z. And 3 times 6 is 18. One quick thing I do want to point out is that 18 equals z is the same thing as saying z equals 18. Okay, these are the same thing. They're equivalent. All right, number 3, we have, I was looking at the wrong problem there. Okay, m plus 6 divided by negative 3 equals 4. So the first thing I'm doing to m, the most immediate thing I'm doing to m is right here. Okay, so first I'm adding 6 to it, then I'm dividing it by negative 3. So the inverse operation of division is multiplication. We're multiplying it by negative 3. And then the inverse operation of addition is subtraction. And I want to do these from the bottom up. So first I want to multiply by negative 3 on both sides. Negative 3 divided by 3 is going to be 1. I'm left with m plus 6. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Now I've done this step, and I need to subtract 6 from both sides. So 6 minus 6 is 0, and I just have m. And negative 12 minus 6. Negative 12 minus 6 is going to give me negative 18. So I have negative 12. I'm making it more negative, so it's going to be negative 18. Okay, so now again, I want you to do these problems and email them. Email those to me. And then I will check them and give you a response. If we need to work some more problems, I will give you some more examples. So make sure that your notes are updated, and then work on the first 2 pages of tic-tac-toe. So this is what we're doing for today and tomorrow on Friday. On Monday, we'll move on in our notes, and we'll move